Life, the good, the bad, and the disaster. The journey of life. Sometimes you feel like life has a deep purpose and you figured it out and you want to devote your entire life to it. And other times you feel like life is completely meaningless and you question why you're here and you get very discouraged and disillusioned with life. The journey of life has a variety of seasons, emotions, and mindsets. And as you become an adult and as you get old, you realize, or you should realize, that you are responsible for taking as much control of your life as possible. Because if you don't aggressively seek to control your life, other people will by default control your life. There's two options in life. Either you're going to take hold, you're going to take accountability, responsibility, and you're going to start making decisions, or someone else, whether it's a person or an entity, will begin to make decisions for you. Life is trying to find a balance. At the same time, life has seasons of extremes. Sometimes you may have to be extreme on your faith journey. There are times in my life where I got extreme in seeking faith and spiritual lessons, and I was real into the church. And then there's a scripture that comes to mind. It says, don't be too good. Don't be too good. Why destroy your life? So if you get extreme with your faith and you become a goody two-shoes, it's actually against the Bible. Now, it also says don't be too bad. It says don't be too good and don't be too bad. People who really love God will avoid both extremes. But, look, sometimes you have to get intense. When I went on a weight loss journey, it gradually built up. And I peaked out at really getting intense to change my life. And now I've kind of just leveled off and I'm in sustain mode. Intensity, extremeness is when you really got to start making some changes. But then you kind of have to realize that you have to balance out. Because certainly, look, if you never have anything with sugar in it, life is going to taste really nasty. And it's amazing to me now, I look back at it, I almost marvel at the mindset I had towards life. I went about 2-3 years where I ate almost no sugar. All I ate was vegetables and fruit. It was amazing. Life has moments where you are in deep love. You connect with someone physically. Look, lust is a big part of relationships, especially, when you're younger or middle age. It plays a part, and romance and emotions. There's two parts of life. There's math and there's emotion. You can put everything you want on a spreadsheet. You could put your monthly budget. You could put your calorie intake on a spreadsheet. But after 9 o'clock, you got that chocolate chip mint ice cream in your freezer. The entire mathematical equation of your calorie intake goes out the window because your emotions take hold. Someone's not good for you, but your emotions take hold. So life, you don't want to be just a mathematical formula. You don't want to be a robot. You want to have emotions. But you don't want to be an emotional train wreck where you're high or low. One interesting thing about life is you don't want to be the type of person where other people don't know if you're going to be a nice person or a nasty person. I've had some people I've worked for and some people I've dated. I didn't know when I talked to them the next day if they were going to be in a good mood or in a bad mood. And sometimes I was like, oh, this person, they're going to be in a bad mood. And so when someone's going to be in a bad mood, you kind of have to suppress your happiness, because if you're too happy around people that are in a bad mood, it's a bad thing. So sometimes I'm like, well, I'm not going to be too happy because this person's going to be nasty. And then all of a sudden, they're so happy that day and they're very, and then you're like, I don't know how to take this. So then you think to yourself, well, all right, maybe this person has turned a corner. They're going to be happy more. They're going to be more positive, optimistic. So then the next time you see them, you approach them like with a smile and with happiness, and they're real nasty. And they like destroy your happiness. People who are high and low and high and low, and there's no consistency, they're not good for your mental health. They're not good for your emotional health. They're not. And if you're that type of person, look, you got to work on yourself. You do. Life is a level of balance. You have to seek some form of balance. It's different for everyone. There's different seasons of life, but this is part of living, your best life. Look, life could be shit. Life could be great. Life could be a bunch of nothing. It's all part of the journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't let worry steal your day. You're worried that, someone's going to pass away. You're worried about that you're going to lose your lover. Guys, it's all going to happen. You're going to lose your loved ones. I remember there was the older mentor that was helping me study for my electrical exam. And when I first met him, he had a wife. He was in his 50s. He was getting close to retirement. He spent his whole life saving, working hard. Good man. And his dream was to build a cabin in Pennsylvania. And so he was working hard to basically retire. He had enough money. He was going to retire, build like a little tiny house in Pennsylvania, and it's going to that was his dream life. So when I met him, his wife was around. She was working. He was working. They were working towards that. His mother was alive. So in the course of 2 years after I met him, life threw him some curveballs. His wife got cancer. And in her 50s, she died. I was with them the last night she was alive. It was a blessing that he asked me to come and pray for his wife. He wasn't really a religious man, but he had faith. And I remember going into the house, and at that time too, I was still dressed in a little bit like streetwear. And I remember all his family members looked at me crazy because I was like this young kid. I was dressing like a football jersey, and I was coming to pray for their relative. And, these are kind of country people. So, but the older guy was my mentor who asked me to come pray for his wife. He didn't give a shit. There's a part about life where, you don't care what anyone thinks. And that's where you have to get in life. Until you get to the point in your life where, you don't care what other people think, you don't go forward, or you just, that's it. I think of the scripture where, whether you want to take it literally or just a lesson, a life lesson. I take it as a life lesson. There was a scripture that someone was approaching Jesus, this lady, and she aggressively seeked him, and she was looking like a fool, but she was really aggressive to go out there and touch him and, to get some type of resolution to her issues. I don't know, she was bleeding, she was on her period, some stuff like that. But the bottom line, the message is she aggressively seeked him and was willing to look like a fool to bring closure to her problems, to get an answer, to seek help. When it's time to seek help in life, you don't passively get help. You don't passively put your life together. You have to aggressively seek. And so, my friend that called me to pray for his wife, he really didn't care how I looked. He didn't care how the situation looked. He was just looking for some type of peace and closure with his wife, watching her basically die before his eyes. And when I went there, he had took her basically out of the hospital and stuff because there was nothing the hospital could do. She was in there for months. And when you get to a certain level of sickness, I think you're better off just not doing treatment. Everyone should do whatever they want. These are my thoughts. I'm just sharing my thoughts at the time of I make this. But, you want to stretch your life out how much? Even if you're going to live 2 more years, do you want to spend the majority of it in a hospital? I don't. I don't want to suffer. No one wants to be through physical pain, but I also don't want to, it's not, to me, it's not worth it to live an extra 2 years if 80% of the time you're going to be in a hospital. That's my opinion. So either way, it came to the point. Let me roll down my window. It's a little hot. Either way, it came to the point where his wife was dying. And he was at a crossroads in life. He was, he basically said, look, my wife is dying. She got terminal cancer. taking her out of the hospital because I want to spend the last quality time with her. And he called me up. He goes, Sam, he goes, I'm not really religious, but I have faith. He goes, I'll ask you if you please come over here and pray for my wife. And I was honored, man. I was honored. Because like I said, I was a young kid and, all that. But, he knew that, I was aggressively like in church at that time and I was trying to better my life. So I go over there. And again, everyone looks at me crazy. He don't care. He said, Sam, don't worry about them. Just come in my room. We're going to sit with me, you, and my wife. So I sit with his wife. His wife is like just a bed full of like bones. She's like a skeleton bone. Cancer had made her so skinny and frail. It was a skeleton almost. And she had an oxygen machine in the room. And I'm saying to myself, this is part of life. It's amazing. Life and death all in the same realm. It's like being at the crossroads. But, I just, we all, held her hand and we just had a prayer, nothing like over religious prayer. Like, some people who pray for like hours and hours. There's a time for that. I've done that, but it was just a prayer for peace and comfort. And, he was crying, but I believe that we brought some comfort, just extending our hope and faith that, we don't know what's going to be on the next level after life. But part of life is dealing with death, okay? Death of a lover, death of a family member, death of a dog, all those things. And so, that she passed like the next morning. I left like late at night, and then he called me the next morning. He was crying, man. He was devastated. So, like I said, I met him, and then 2 years later, after I've met him, his wife had just died. His mother then got very sick. Then his mother's life, basically, there was another year and a half of him taking care of his mother. His mother went real downhill. So then, like, his wife had died, then his mother got real sick, and his mother finally died. So here he was, in his late 50s now. Money wasn't an issue in his life, but he was basically emotionally bankrupt. And I would keep in touch with him for about a year or so after, both his wife and his mother died. Because I liked him. We vibed. We were different people at different points of our life. But good people always connect. Because good people really don't look at the exterior. They vibe. There's a certain energy, like they just connect. And, I would call him, and a lot of times he wouldn't pick up. Guys, never get offended when you call someone and they don't pick up. Unless you're in a loving relationship, like if you're a lover. But I remember there's a lot of times where I don't pick up when people call me. Now, if you can't handle that someone's not picking up the phone, then you're not in the right relationship. But if you're in a relationship where you and that other person vibe and you trust them, if you don't trust them, then look, guys, they're not picking up for a reason. They're getting banged out by the guy with the Toyota Tacoma. Guys, you could stick around with the girl with cancer, but if she don't like you, she'll let you bring her food while she's sick with cancer. And if she gets well again, she's going to bang the guy with a Toyota Tacoma. And then you're going to be just sitting there with a bunch of pizza in your hand, and she don't want your food anymore. She wants to live her one last shot because the cancer helped her to lose weight. She recovered. Now she can fit into all her skinny clothes. And now, look, you're just a schmo that's emotional tampon. If you can't handle just being friends, don't be friends. You got to be honest with yourself, guys. Part of life is being honest. Part of life is also like, look, I can't handle being friends with you. I'd rather you die of cancer and me not know you than me being an emotional support system for you. And if you get lucky and you get better, I don't get you, some other guy gets you. That's what happens. So guys, you better fairly evaluate what you need out of the situation too. And girls, everyone. Like, look, you should be there for people, but you should also be there for yourself. There's that saying that, be there for others, but don't leave yourself behind. So if you're sitting over there and you're trying to save everyone and be an emotional support for everyone, but it's not healthy for you, guys, bad example. You're not helping, you're hurting them, and you're hurting yourself. Because eventually it all comes to head. Eventually you have a breakdown. And then eventually they feel bad, you feel bad, and it ends up in a total disaster. What's life? Life is good, bad, and total disaster. It's all those things, guys. It's part of the journey. But after back to the story. So after this guy's wife and his mom died, I tried to keep in touch with him. And sometimes he would pick up, sometimes he wouldn't. Because he needed his space. He didn't want to talk. Sometimes people just don't want to talk. And I understand that. I'm the same way. But I tried, to keep in touch with him. And once in a while, he would pick up and we would talk. And I would try, we had some laughs, but it was tough for him to laugh. But I remember one time I asked him, I said, brother, how you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best, how are you doing? He goes, man, Sam, he goes, I'm -10. -10. That's how happy he was in life. And I said, I understand that. So we try to focus on the positive and we try to focus on what we could be thankful for. Guys, let me tell you something. Even though he'd been through some hardships, if he was never thankful, I would never call him. Because even if someone's totally devastated, let them vent. But if they're an unthankful person, guys, let them be nasty alone. Because I don't care what bad cards they're dealt, you can never help the unthankful. It's impossible. The unthankful aren't reaching for Jesus. They're not reaching for an answer. They're trying to pull you into their pain. And there's no wisdom there, guys. There's no grace. Hate to say it, but it's true. So he said he's doing a -10. I said, I understand that, brother. But he tried to be thankful. I mean, we shared some laughs. We talked about life. I understood. I didn't bust his chops. And, about a year or so later, I think I talked to him a couple more times. And finally, he had started to recover a little bit. And he was actually starting to date a little bit again, like dabble in it. It was never the same, guys. I mean, but he did get back into the game. He re-engaged life. But, you could tell his life will never be the same again. And I understand it. There's certain scars in life that you're just never going to be the same. You're going to heal. You're going to feel joy again, but life is going to evolve. Part of life is learning to let go. And the older you get, the harder it is because the more you have, more baggage you have, the more you have to let go. But enjoy each day. Make the most of each day. There's time to be in extreme and there's time to have balance. There's time to eat fruits and vegetables. Once in a while, I got to eat a little bit of dessert. But if, like Marion, you're visiting some unthankful, ungrateful family members and all you're eating is chocolate cake, guys, get the hell out of Dodge. Because part of life is separating yourself from the negative influences. Negative influences are the reason you started smoking cigarettes, started drinking alcohol, and almost destroyed your life. It may be some good people that also helped you, maybe even saved your life. So don't make a judgment on them. But guys, at a certain point as an adult, because again, back to life and what you can control as an adult, you have to consciously put your hands on the steering wheel of life and start to turn certain directions. And part of that navigation of life is cutting off negative influences. Emotional negative influences, financial negative influences, all that. Now, we all have vices. Part of life is, look, everyone has weakness. Like there was a guy in here, I love him. He had a prostitution addiction. He was addicted to sex, man. He was like, even Halle Berry's ex-husband was addicted to sex and he had a hot girl. So all you big chicks out there like that think like, oh no, I'm fat and I'm nasty. And that's why my man cheats on me. Hey, look, Halle Berry's husband cheated on her. So guys, look, cheating happened. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. Donald Trump, we damn sure know Donald Trump cheated on Melania. He banged Stormy Daniels. We know Bill Clinton cheated on Hillary. Now, Hillary's not that hot, so don't get too excited about that one. But for all you ugly people out there, look, everyone gets cheated on. Okay. Everyone gets hurt in life, guys. No one's getting through this life without hurt. But look, the wise understand it, they accept it, they move on. They stay, they feel the pain of life, but then they have to consciously make an effort to be joyful. Guys, you can make yourself sad in life your entire time you're down here. So if the average life expectancy is 80, and shout out to all my senior citizens out there who think they're going to live to 120, but if the average life expectancy is 80, guys, one of the major things you should do in life is just make the most of it. Because we know it can suck, but you can make yourself sad the entire 80 years. Do you want to do that? I don't want to do that. As much as I can, I want to live a happy, fulfilled life. Why? Because what's the alternative? A lot of times in life, as you go through it and you try to seek enlightenment, whether it's a spiritual journey or whatever type of journey, you always have to look at what are your options. So your options are, look, you can have faith or not have faith. Now, stay away from religion. Okay. Now, to get faith, sometimes you got to dabble in the religious world because it's hard to get a good understanding of faith without getting involved in churches and all those different things. But there's a lot of dogma there that's very unhealthy. But the opposite of not having faith is just being totally, I think we're mind, body, soul. There's something different about a human than a tree. A tree is alive, a human is alive. But a human has a unique ability that they can do mathematical formulas and they can create art. They're like this abstract being. A tree is just basically growing, dying. It's not creating. So part of like that magic part about a human is they have a soul. Okay. And so there's some type of spiritual aspect to a human. Do we understand it? No one understands it. But I think, again, that, you should just I think it's better to have faith than not to have faith. I think it's better to try to be positive than to just give up and be totally nasty. Like, that's why I really don't dig trolls. I understand, like, they're playing a game a little bit. Some of them are young kids. Some of them are ugly ass old girls. Like, don't think all the trolls are young kids that are in their mom's basement. Some of them are ugly, mental case, middle-aged women. That's the truth. But, like, I really can't dig trolls. I understand, look, like, I hope they're saved by grace, too. But, look, they've just decided that they're just going to totally do negativity. And, look, I understand their mindset, but I don't want to live that life. Because you got a choice. You could try to be positive in a negative world, or you're just going to be totally negative. It's up to you. It's better to have faith. It's better to try to be positive. It's better to have a goal. Part of life, good to see you, John. Part of life is, you have to have some type of aim. If you don't aim at nothing, you're not going to do anything. You're going to stay stuck in the same town you grew up, with the same friends, with the same life. You're never going to grow. You're never going to grow your career. You're never going to grow your life goals. Good to see you, Blanton. Good to see everyone. I'm going to read all live comments. Love to you guys. We are made to grow, to evolve. But it takes a level of effort to do it. Like, how do you grow your muscles? When you go in the gym, what you actually are doing is you're tearing your muscles. You're just, you're ripping your muscles. Your muscles actually grow in your sleep. Okay. Sleep is very important for your physical and mental health. The average adult should get 6 to 8 hours of sleep per night. In the military services, part of torture is to deprive someone of sleep. It will make them go mentally crazy and it will physically hurt them. Sleep deprivation is detrimental to your well-being. But I was saying all that to say, like, look, part of growing in life is having a goal and failing. Part of growing your muscles is going in the gym, ripping them, and then sleeping so they grow bigger. They heal. So you have a goal, you're going to totally fail at some of your goals. And then you pick yourself back up, and then you grow your muscles, and then you evolve a different way. So you have to reach a little bit in your career. Like I often tell you guys, like, look, there's a time in your life where you dial down your career, when you've established certain things, when you have certain credentials, or when you're older. But when you're younger, you're middle-aged, guys, take your electrical exam 3 times, like I did, even if you fail. Apply for jobs that you feel like you're not qualified for, and you may have to apply a couple times. Stay with the same company for a little bit, grow your career. Why? Because this is part of setting goals, financial independence. You have to put a demand on yourself in life. I've often given the parable of a car. If you have a car and you never drive it, it actually hurts the car. There's been plenty of times where I've driven, especially now being in this mobile lifestyle, but I drive by RVs. and you see RVs on the side of a house or a car on the side of a house that hasn't been driven, and it's totally deteriorated. It's rusty, it's nasty, it breaks down, the belts snap. A car has to have a demand put on it. If not, the first thing that goes is the battery dies. When the battery dies, then you can't move it. And then the hoses crack, the rubber tires start to deteriorate. It's a whole chain reaction. And in your life, you have to put a demand on it. Look, guys, there's nothing comfortable about going to the gym. There's nothing comfortable about building your career. That's all part of ripping your muscles in life. And then over time, they heal, they grow, and you get bigger and better. But if you go through your whole life with the car parked in front of your house, you're going to look like an old-ass RV parked in front of someone's house that's never been moved. It's not going to be good. Part of life is realizing being idle and not putting a demand on yourself is dangerous, and it's unfulfilled, unrich life. Now, the opposite of that is you have to learn that resting and that balance is also essential. You don't want to work nonstop where you never enjoy the fruits of your labor. You never want to be so focused on certain goals that you don't sit and smell the roses and stop with loved ones and, take time to slow down a little bit. Slow down in your relationship. Some of the biggest times I messed up in a relationship, I was speeding up. Now that's emotionally and sexually. A lot of you guys out there who you're real good at looking porn, but you suck in bed. You got to slow down a little bit in bed, guys. And you have to slow down a little bit emotionally. That takes time. That takes failure. That's part of life. You don't grow in a relationship until you fail. Now, I don't really have goals anymore towards relationships. Not that I don't think they're valuable. Like you guys know me, I promote, for me, being single works, and I think a lot of people, they're better off being single. Especially people with high anxiety that aren't good with commitment and that aren't taking care of themselves well. I think if you're not taking care of yourself well, I think you got to be very cautious to put the emotional burden on someone else to take care of you, because even if they take great care of you, you're still not going to be happy. Because something inside of us, we need a level of independence. All of us, man, woman, and even child, even young children and adolescents children, they need a level of independence. They don't like when their parents smother them. Humans, we have a desire to be independent. And if you put someone else if you make someone else responsible for your well-being, physically, emotionally, mentally, and that becomes a habit, then I think that they're going to end up unhappy and you're going to end up unhappy. Now, again, if you're destitute, if you have a severe physical issue or severe mental issue, there's exceptions. Okay. But, you should work as hard as you can to supplement even things that you have issues with, using some resources. Wheelchairs, support groups, whatever. Humans are pack oriented. We learn a lot and we gravitate when we share. But also some of them are more solo than others. There's a time to connect. You have to stay connected at a certain level. If you go through your whole life with no connections, you're going to be a psychopath. Now, the opposite of that is if you try to keep a fake friend in your life, a lover or a friend, if you have a bunch of fake friends just to text buddies, your life is going to be empty and shallow. So you have to realize the need for connection, but then you have to have a standard of only good, healthy relationships. It's a balance. And those are the essence of what I believe are some serious life talk issues, life lessons. Give thought to them. And, make the most of your life. Because look, while you're here, that's the bottom line. All right, guys, I'll roll down my windows. We'll read all your live comments, and then we'll go from there. Peace and love. Let me take a hydration break. Click that thumbs up button, guys, if you like these videos, if they help you, and share the video. Thank you. All right, let's start from the top. Keelan, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Thank you, man, for coming in and saying hi. Apathy, hey, Apathy. Hey, Sam, good to see you. Always good to see you, Apathy. Good to see you. Zelda, hey, Zelda. Hey, Sam, good to see you. Marin's back from visiting some ungrateful family members. 3 palm trees, a lot of hearts, a lot of hydrations. And then she's just peeking out, taking a look. Marin, I love you. Look, when you're with relatives, sometimes you eat a little bit more. But being with my mom, you eat a little bit more. So it's like, you got to take care of yourself, though. I make sure that I go for a walk, and I make sure I self-care before I see my mom. Don't sacrifice self-care before you go see someone. Because if you don't do self-care before you go see someone, the whole time you're with them, you're going to be resentful. Because you got a bunch of unused energy because you didn't go to the gym, you didn't eat the way you wanted, and the entire time you're with them, you have a high level of anxiety. That anxiety comes from not taking care of yourself. I don't care if it's your mother, a best friend, or a lover. Take care of yourself first before you spend time with someone else. That's a priority in life. Good job. African Amazing. Hey, Sam. Hey, everyone. Good to see you. Susie. Greetings, Sam. How you doing? Overall positive. I'm enjoying my trip to New Jersey, visit my mom, taking my time. It's good weather. It's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow in New Jersey. Very hot for this time of year in the middle of September. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm making the most of my time. How are you? Marin, hey, African Amazing, and Apathy, and Sam, Angel Emoji, thank you. Marin Keelan, thumbs up. African Amazing, hey, Marin. Marin, Zelda, hey, Marin. Tamisco, beautiful story, thank you, brother. Sincere and without tears. Yeah, look, guys, a part of life, too, is crying. There's nothing wrong with crying. Now, you shouldn't be crying every day, all day, because then there's emotional issues. We're mind, body, and soul. So emotions are part of your mind. And look, your body plays a part too and all that, but eat well, exercise daily. And even if exercise, especially as you get older, exercise is just going for periodic walks, but you have to put a demand. You have to push yourself a little bit. That's part of life. Because you're going to feel real bad if you just stay idle most of the day, physically and mentally, because, again, you're meant to put a level of a demand on yourself. Good job. Johnny Q. What's up, man? Sammy, the sock man, dropping the knowledge. Hey, guys, we talk about a lot of stuff here, guys, not just masturbating in a sock, but that's part of life, too. Look, lust and the physical need to be attracted to someone, whether it's the same sex, opposite sex, whatever you're into, that's part of life. And it's better to address it, and it's better not to be driven by it. I joke around a little bit because I like to have fun. Like, laughter is part of a good life. That's life talk. But part of it is serious. I think that when you masturbate, especially for men, but this is for, I've met some freaky women too. When you masturbate, you're not driven by lust. A lot of times you're building a relationship, it's all lust. Now, is there something wrong with that? Not necessarily, but it can end up in a total disaster. And, you want to avoid disasters as much as possible, but it's all part of life. Nick, hey, yo, what's up, man? Grace, so true. Thank you, Grace. Lila, my friend James Golden send nasty texts on my cell. But hurtful, piss me off. I don't like it's a disaster. Well, Lila, block him and change your number if it's serious. If you want to let it slide, I give you the right to do whatever you want in life because I love you and I respect you and I don't want to tell you what to do. But in my personal experience in life, when someone is nasty, it doesn't get better. It only gets worse. So that's my experience. And that's why now at this point in my life, I'm middle-aged. Submarine Vet, brother, what's up, man? Shout out to the hell yeah, I remember you, man. Good to see you. We're going to get to your comment, man. Good to see you, man. Shout out to Boston, man. But yeah, my experience in life, I'm just quick to block people. Now, sometimes I'm not going to lie. I probably block people too quick in my virtual life, which is online, but also in my physical life, in real life. But that's just where I'm at, and that's what I need to do to keep me in a healthy space. I don't want a lot of relationships. Like, I want to grow my channel, but at the same time, I don't want to sacrifice a certain level of mental peace. And so, like, sometimes when someone just starts to talk a little bit wild, I don't think they're always a bad person, but I just think, man, they're a little bit too nasty for me, and I'm not going to vibe with them. Like, I think right in a way, you kind of know, but my experience in my life, this is life talk, is that when someone's nasty, they just get nastier. And again, it goes back to like one of the biggest things I would say in life that hurts you, that hurts me, is when I don't know what to expect from someone. Like when I see them, 1 minute they're nice and the next minute they're nasty. Now, we all have mood swings. None of us are always high or always low. And some people have chemical imbalances. I don't judge them. I understand there's some mental struggles in life, physical. So again, it's, make a mental note. When you decide if someone should be in your life or not, it's not you judging them. It's you deciding what's best for you. Now, they may look at it as, oh, you're judging me, but hey, look, too bad. I have to do what I have to do to keep me in a healthy place. So it's not a judgment on you. If you're too insecure to understand that, it's not my job to build your confidence. I want to build your confidence because I want to be a positive person, but I can't do the work of your life. If you depend on me for your confidence, eventually we're going to end up in an argument because I can't do that work. Only you can build your confidence. People can encourage you. I try to be an encourager, but I'm also not going to take a lot of shit. So I try to find that balance because, again, part of life is finding a balance between being an encourager but not being a doormat. So, if he texts you nasty, it's up to you if you want to allow it. But I would say this, that drama doesn't accidentally come in your life. Either you permit it or you invite it. So make a mental note. Good to see you, Lila. John, you're my guy, brother. Love to. Shout out to Boston. We got a couple people in Boston here tonight. Blanton, shout out to North Carolina, brother. How'd you make out in the hurricane, man? What's up, Sam? Blanton, good to see you, brother. Shout out to you, Tom, and everyone out in Boone, man. Hope you guys are doing good, working hard at Pepsi, studying for the finals, and doing you. I ain't mad at that. Rob, what's up, man? Hey, brother, good to see you. My man, Blanton. Big facts, 2 muscle emojis. Trying to build my career in my early 20s. You're a hard worker. Like I said, brother, I saw your video on how you presented yourself to the world, your world resume. Blanton did a video, I think it was like part of his college class, on like a virtual video resume on just basically who he was. Look, he's young. He don't have much life experience, but you could tell the essence of his character. And I think for his age, very mature, very hardworking. He's going to only get better. Now, Blanton and all you other younger people out there, the only thing that's going to hurt you is bad relationships. Now, you got to go through some bad relationships, but don't allow people to emotionally take advantage of you. And, but, you have all the right characteristics, brother. So just be yourself and don't let this world make you too bitter. He goes, trying to build his career because I know when I get older, I won't have the energy. That's so true, brother. You're a wise guy, man. You're going to figure it out. Look, I'm 39 years old, guys. I was walking today on the Jersey Shores. Nice weather, guys. Nice weather up here. I'm not going to lie to you. And I was thinking about that, man. When I was in my like real intense, extreme mode of losing weight, I was walking like 10, sometimes 25 miles per day, man. That's a lot. A marathon's like that. But I was intense at a certain season. I was just getting my health together, man. But I think about that now, man. I couldn't do that without seriously hurting my knees. There's no way. Just don't have the energy. Now, there's some people out there, I see them in the gym. They're older. They got energy. But look, they're older. And sometimes I look at them. I even see old people jogging on the beach. And I said, man, they're hurting themselves. But to each their own, but just make a mental note. Look, none of us are getting out of here alive, and the average life expectancy is 80. So 40 is the midway point, guys. So your energy levels go down. So work and reach for the stars, especially when you're younger and middle aged, because that's the time. When you're older, you want to start to dial it down. Like I think of my girl, and I don't know if she still watches, Gail. Gail is 70 years old, I believe. She's a lady who watched me from Massachusetts. And over the last winter, she got in her minivan. She bought a minivan. She went down to Florida. She lasted a couple months, but it was very challenging for a 70-year-old woman to live in her minivan. She got sick, and she had to find a job, and she ended up going back up north to be a caretaker. And I remember the video that she made when she went back up north. She goes, I tried it. She should give herself a lot of credit, because for a 70-year-old woman to get in her van, to have the confidence to go down to Florida by herself and try to figure it out, I give her a lot of credit. But, she got sick, and being sick when you're on the road is one of the toughest things. And I think she said, well, I got to make a couple changes. She decided to go back up north. She needed money. Look, even when you're 70, you need money. And when you're 70, even if you start to make $100,000 at 70 years old, you're not going to build up your Social Security. I was looking online the other day, and I was trying to look up the average Social Security. About 40% of Americans depend on Social Security as their primary source of income when they retire. The average Social Security is about $1,300 per month. So look, guys, that's not even rent for some people. And so if you make, then I looked up, if you made $100,000 over the course of 30 years as your career, how much would you make? Well, if you took your Social Security at 62, you'd make about $2,000 a month. If you took it at, I think, 66, which is like, no, just about, if you took it at 66, you'd make about $2,600 a month. And if you took it at 70, you'd make about over $3,000. So, but even that's not an extreme amount of money. Especially as you figure inflation and everything else. So look, if you're already old and, don't look backwards. Part of life is you can't look backwards. So especially too, I have a lot of compassion for Gail and all the older women from a different generation where women didn't have as much opportunity in the workforce, and it was just a different dynamic in society. I mean, it's tough because they're in a tough situation. But look, we can't go backwards. All we can do is go forward. Part of life is acknowledging the past, but then recognizing all you can do is focus on going forward. Never forget it, guys. So make a mental note, guys, and make the most of your life. Let's continue to read. Tony? Oh, let's take a hydration break one more time. Tony says, Sam, good talk tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Greetings from Ontario, Canada. Well, brother, shout out to you. Shout out to all my Canadian viewers, brother. Canadian flag to you. And thank you, brother. Johnny Q. Deadlifting while I'm listening to this. Well, love to you, brother. I don't deadlift, man. I'm not trying to hurt myself, but I know some people do. And there was some cute girl today, not deadlifting, but like squatting. It's sexy when a girl with yoga pants squats in the gym. Man, I was getting all juiced up, man. I said, man, let me masturbate before I get a little bit too excited. That's the truth. Dennis, your friend remained faithful. It's the true believers that become emotionally bankrupt. The rest of us, hold on a second. Let me just block somebody. Okay, they're blocked. Dennis, it's the true believers that become emotionally bankrupt. The rest of us, your friend included, became emotionally guarded. Thankfully, your call to grace was answered. Well, love to you. And thank you, Dennis, for all your insightful comments, man. You're a very good guy, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that positive comment, man. Nick, muscle stress is as important as muscle relaxation. I agree with that. Both are necessary for growth. Damn it, Nick. Good comment. I agree with that, Nick. Muscle relaxation without strain grows fat. Muscle strain without relaxation causes pain. Yes, and look, as you get older, even if you stay in good shape, your muscles deteriorate. So as you're older, you shouldn't be lifting too many weights. When you're older, you should just be watching your diet and going for a walk. But look, part of life too is eating dessert. So I want you to have some dessert. I want you to have some treats. I don't want you to be a psychopath with a six-pack. I don't want you to be a psychopath with a six-pack, because let me tell you something. You know who's going to bang your chick? Some guy with a little bit of a belly but's got a good sense of humor, and, he's passionate in bed. And you're a psychopath with a six-pack, and you're eating 5 protein shakes, and you're at GNC trying to figure out what's the next pill that you can take. And guys, guess who's banging your MILF? This guy right here. And I got a little bit of a gut and a wide ass. Why? Because I got a good personality. And you've been at the gym all day, guys, and your girl... Look, your girl, especially all the MILFs, they want to eat chocolate and cheese. They want to watch Hallmark movies. They don't want some psychopath with a six-pack. That's in their 20s. So all you older guys, after you're out of your 20s, don't go crazy. Like, be healthy. The biggest thing a woman wants is a clean man. So clean yourself, okay? And the next thing she wants is someone who kind of has it together, okay? Financially and emotionally, okay? And then the final thing she wants is some humor. You know, I remember when I sold my house, actually, I remember being in the closing office. You know, when you sell your house, you go through this whole closing process, and on the final day of the sale, you go to a lawyer's office or a closing agent office, and there's a representative usually from your real estate broker and their lawyer or their broker, and you all meet in this office. You don't have to, but I did. And so my real estate agent officer was there, and we were starting to share about life while we were waiting for the paperwork to be finalized. And so we were talking about life, and I was trying to tell her, like, you know, what I was thinking to do next with my life. And I was telling her, like, look, I don't want to get married, so I really don't want a house, and I want to go to Florida. And I was telling her, and she goes, well, that's great. And I go, well, what about you? And she goes, well, you know, I have a house, you know, in whatever town she was telling me. And I go, well, what about, you know, relationship-wise? She goes, well, I just got married for the second time. And, of course, I kind of laughed. I said, the second time? I said, why'd you get married again? So this lady had to be in her 50s. And she goes, well, he makes me laugh. Laughter is such a powerful thing, it will cause people to get married, guys. It will attract people to you. Now, here's the key. You can't force laughter, okay? Like, you can't be doing a stand-up act with your wife. You know, it's not about that. It's just about enjoying the simple, funny things about life. Like, if you got prepared jokes for some girl, it's not funny. And look, as you guys get to know each other, nothing's funny. I mean, you know, even your jokes are not going to be funny. I remember watching this movie. I think it's called The Postman. It's with Kevin Costner, and he was like a nomad. And the movie was like when society had collapsed, and he was like the last postman. And he would go around to different towns. There was no internet. There was no whatever. It was back in the day. And he would deliver news. And he was saying, look, the federal government is still alive, and I'm delivering mail to everyone to let people know that society is still functioning. Society needs structure. As much as all the psychopaths don't want the federal government and they don't want government in their business, if the government collapsed, you know what would happen? Total chaos. And then you know who would control the world? Either a religious fanatic or a totally violent person. Because there's always going to be a need for someone to take hold of the situation and to get power. So if the government doesn't exist, there's going to be some psychopath, a dictator, or there's going to be some religious nut, some Jim Jones. Someone will take power, and it won't be healthy. It won't be a democracy. Now, I understand even democracy is, you know, corrupt. I understand that. But let me just finish the story. So in the movie, The Postman, Kevin Costner was delivering mail to show people, to give them hope that there was still a government, there was still structure, there's not chaos, don't give up. And during his travels as this like nomad, he had met this married couple. They very much loved each other, but they couldn't conceive a child, and they wanted a child. Shout out to all my pro-life people. I don't know how you are pro-life, but you are also, you're not mad at people who go to a doctor and unnaturally try to have a child. Because if you believe, like, you know, like only God can take a life, then you should believe that only God can create a life. So if you go to a doctor and you get artificial work done to force a baby into this world, to me, that's like playing God. So now I'm pro-choice. So if you want to go to a doctor and create life, that's up to you. But then if you're going to do that, then you also have the right to take a life. That's how I feel. But either way, let me not get off track. This married couple, they couldn't have a child. And so they decided to have Kevin Costner bang his wife. Yeah, that's real pro-life, but this is what they did. So Kevin Costner originally said, look, I don't want to get involved in this drama. The number one thing in life is never get involved in someone else's relationship. Never. But Kevin Costner didn't masturbate in a while. And I think back then they didn't have N1 socks. So initially Kevin Costner said, no, I don't want to get involved in that. I don't want to like have sex with your wife just so you can have a kid. But after spending some time in the town and they were persistent, Kevin Costner finally gave in. And the woman who was seducing Kevin Costner to have this child, she would always laugh at his jokes. She would always be very nice to him. But then after she had his child, after she got what she wanted, she didn't laugh at his jokes anymore. After someone seduces you, many times they no longer laugh at your jokes. And then after she had the baby, and then after her life changed dramatically, because I think her husband got killed and everything like that, Kevin Costner was like, you know, you're a different person. You don't laugh at my jokes anymore. You don't do this. And it goes back to one of the biggest things I learned in life. One of the worst type of people is you don't know what to expect from them. One minute they're very nice to you. They laugh at your jokes. And the next minute they hate you. They treat you very cold. But guys, that's why you got to be your own best friend, because that's part of life. But there's definitely some people that are too hot, too cold. You don't want to be around them. Damn it, Tony. Shout out to Maryland, brother. Thank you, man. For a cup of coffee. Blessings to you, brother. Well, damn it, Tony, man. Shout out to Maryland, man. Appreciate you, brother. Saxophone emoji, brother. You play your saxophone until the Lord calls you home, brother. Use every creative gift in your body, man. Guys, when you leave this life, let all your gifts be fully used. Don't leave anything on the table, guys. That's what I would tell you, man. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, brother. Been very positive, man. Let's take a hydration break, then we'll go back into the live comments, man. Thank you, brother. Love to you, man. Let's continue to read. Tomasco, looks like it's humid in New Jersey. It heated up a little bit today, and it's going to be hot tomorrow, like 90. And then I think it'll cool down a little bit more. But it's been gorgeous the past week. It's been like the high 70s, low 80s. And it's been great, man. And look, fall weather is nice in New Jersey. I'm not going to lie. So I'm enjoying this break. How long do I plan to stay in New Jersey? Probably to the end of September, maybe even the end of October. I'm not rushing back to Florida. Why? Because, look, my mom is elderly. I mean, she's in her 70s. And I want to make the most of my time with her. I've been in Florida for a straight year. I'm not, I've experienced what I kind of want to experience. I'll be going back, but there's good weather. I want to spend quality time with my mom. I don't have to go back right away. I'm not committed to any land or anything down there. And, so why rush it? No reason to rush. As you get older in life, you realize, look, if you have the opportunity to slow down and smell the roses, smell them. Because there's no telling when that rose will turn to a piece of dookie. Because look, guys, part of life is sometimes you get a rose and sometimes you get a piece of dookie. Okay? And that's part of life. So when you get the rose, take a good whiff. Tony says, Sam, they got any good parks in New Jersey? Yes, they don't have a lot. Florida has a lot more state parks and campgrounds than New Jersey, a lot more. And New Jersey only has seasonal camping. Most campgrounds close in October in New Jersey. There's a couple that stay open till December. But I've tried a couple thousand trails. There's not too many in New Jersey. But I've tried them. They're decent. They're not as nice as the ones in Florida, but they're decent. They're safe, legal places to park. And so, you make the most of it. I kind of remind myself that, look, I'm not looking for like this beautiful park. I'm just looking for a safe, legal place to park. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been a blessing overall. At the end of this month, at the end of September, I will have made a return on investment on my 1,000 Trails Pass. Because for the 1,000 Trails Pass, it's about $800 for the whole year or less. I think I spent like $780. And I got the 1,000 Trails, the Encore, and 2 zones. Now, you can spend as low as $600 if you only get like 1 zone and you don't get the Encore resorts. But basically, look, if you spend $800 a year, if you spend 1 month camping, you've paid for that pass. And at the end of September, that's what I've done. I looked at the memberships. I'll do a video about that. There's some different dynamics there. But the main reason, I will say this, and then we'll go to live comments again. The main reason I don't think because there's a camping pass with Thousand Trails, and then there's the camping trail memberships. The memberships are like a one-time fee, and then also the annual pass fee. But with the memberships, you can stay longer, but not in the Encore resorts. In the Encore resorts, which are mainly in Florida, you can only still stay 14 days consecutive, and then you got to be out of the system for 7 days. But you can go to Thousand Trails Park without ever getting out of the system. But in Florida, most of the ones on the East Coast are all Encore, so it doesn't help me. So I don't think I'll do a membership yet. We'll see. All right, let me get back to live comments. Nick, you should consider moving to Washington. Nah, Washington, D.C., I've seen. I know you're talking about probably about Washington, like Oregon, the West Coast. Maybe I'll go visit it, but I like flat, hot, beachy areas. I don't like the Pacific Ocean. I like the Atlantic Ocean. But I will come to visit the West Coast maybe at one point in my life, but I have no desire to go there yet. Like, I don't like the rainforest. And Washington is rainforest. I don't like that. That's not my thing. It's not that it's not beautiful. I'm not throwing hate or shade on it. And I will go to visit, but it's just not my thing. I like the sun. I don't like a lot of trees. I like to be able to see the sun. I like the beach. I like seagulls. I like pelicans. So Washington's got like bear. And like, Nomadic Fanatic running around with a cat. Like, I love that guy. He's a good guy. But, I'm a little bit different. I love you, though. SI Project, Philly in the house. Good to see you, man. Love to you. Lord. Hey, could you shout out my dad, Dan? Dan F? Yeah, he shouted out, man. Shout out to you and your father, man. Love and respect. Tony. Nick. Anxiety is a big issue for me as well. Look, guys, some people have a bigger issue than other, but anxiety is part of human emotion and human psyche. So because you have anxiety doesn't make you odd. It makes you human. Now, there are different people on different spectrums of the human scale. There's some people that have extreme mental and emotional issues. There's some people that have very little, and there's some people that are in the middle ground. So, but don't just think because you have anxiety like you're different. You're human. Now, again, you may be on a different scale or a different part of the scale, but self-care is always the first answer. And then you may have to supplement it with other stuff, but you always have to start with self-care. Good job. Nick, balance in all things. Well, I agree with that. Nick, that's the Asian way. Now, I know that's why I dated some Asian MILFs, and believe me, I like that about them. But some of the Asian chicks, man, they're cold-hearted, man. Like, they're very disciplined. And so, I don't want to make a general statement because I wouldn't want someone to make a general statement about any race, culture, or religion. So humans are humans. But somewhat there's very much a discipline there. But look, Buddha is the one who basically emphasized the road to enlightenment is balance. And I agree with that. And that's why I think that every culture has a piece of the puzzle. I agree with that. SI Project, Philly in the house. You there, brother? Tony, who is going to be the first to give Sam a super chat? Well, damn it, my man, Tony Gilbert did. But even if nobody did, I'm very thankful. Jay Bird did last night. I'm very thankful for anyone who gives me a tip. But if you don't, guys, there's no manipulation. I'm doing me. Look, if I didn't want to do, if YouTube didn't have money involved, I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I never lie to you guys. But at the same time, I'm not manipulating people to get money. I'm just saying, look, this is what I'm doing. If it yields a return, good. If it doesn't, then it's up to me as an adult to decide if I want to keep doing it or not. So, that's how you should always look at life. Good job. Cameron, hey, Sam, it's a disaster. Sometimes it is. That's part of life. I'm not going to lie to you. Good to see you, Cameron. Love to you, brother. Nick, put your face mask on first. Okay. Nick, you can't help. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, good saying, yes. Now, I had a person who used to be on this channel who mentioned that to me. I think it's a great quote. The saying is, and I think I dated an Asian airline stewardess, and she used to, well, she didn't say this, but I'm not going to talk about that. But there's like a saying when you board an airplane, like if you look at the safety instructions, that if the airplane gets turbulence and the air mask come down because the flight is having serious issues, that you should put the air mask on yourself first. You shouldn't even put the air mask on a child or elderly person first. Why? Because the saying is, and the principle is, if you're not in a position to help others, then you can't help anyone. And so the protocol is to put the air mask on yourself and then look to help others. Don't put the air mask on yourself and then masturbate. You can't be too selfish, but that's the principle. And I agree with that. Good job. And then Nick goes, you can't help anyone if you run out of air. Well, I agree with that 100%. Flying in a plane 101. Well, damn it, Nick, I think you dated some stewardess. I do. I ain't mad at that. Shout out to the Mile High Club, Tony. What up, family? Just checking in. Good to have you, Tony. More to life. Yo, guess who? Good to see you. Submarine vet. Brother, I got love for you, man. I appreciate you hanging out. I think about you often, man. I love you, man. I hope you're doing great. I'm a big fan of yours, brother. You stay positive. You keep doing you, man. I don't have submarine vet no more. That's all right. You change. You do what you need to do for you. I remember. Hell yeah, I remember you, man. Good to see you, brother. I like your tag name too. More to life. I like that. More to life. How have you been? Good, brother. How have you been? Do you leave from the storm or no? Yeah, I got the hell out of Dodge when that hurricane was coming to Florida. But I took it as an opportunity. Part of life is sometimes pain will push you to a better place. And so it was actually a blessing in disguise. The hurricane came. It pushed me to come up to New Jersey a little bit faster than I was thinking. And sometimes in life, like when I got physically sick with my nerve, when I was lifting weights and I got nerve damage, it pushed me to eat a little bit healthier. And so sometimes in life, pain pushes you to reposition your life. And so that's true. He goes, did you say you're in crappy New Jersey? Look, yeah. And New Jersey's not a total disaster, but yeah, like it's partly a disaster. But New Jersey has also been a blessing to me. Look, it helped me build a career. There's some good aspects of Jersey. Sometimes I say jokingly, every place has good and bad. Look, there's some disaster parts of Florida. Overall, Florida is my home base. But I often say, look, I'm thankful that I grew up in New Jersey, not in Wyoming or Kentucky. Not that I'm trying to be disrespectful to those places, but, and I'm sure if they probably say the same thing about New Jersey, but for me, I like to be by the coast. I like diversity, and obviously I like opportunity. So either way, I'm thankful to be able to be in a season of my life where I have the opportunity to work remotely. Because when I had to work at the office, which most of my career, 90% of my career was at the office or a construction site, I hated it. But look, there's part of your life that you got to work jobs you don't like, and you got to put up with shit you don't like. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's the way life is. Good to see you, brother. Blang. I appreciate the kind words on my video. I got love for you, brother. Yes, it was for a class, and it took courage to film myself. I totally agree, especially as a young man. Watch the video of you talking about your dog from earlier this year. Oh, total disaster, yeah. Such a powerful video. I appreciate that, brother, man. Shout out to you and Tom. Tom, don't be mad at me, brother. I love you. You're a sex tiger, man. You should be very confident, man. Shout out to you guys. More life. I'm in the western part of the state. You're Boston, right? A lot of mountains. Shout out to Massachusetts, man. I've been to Massachusetts. I did a video. I went to Massachusetts, Vermont, the whole area, the whole northeast area I went to. It was all right. It was all right. Tony, man, I'm glad I made it. He goes, man, I'm glad I made it. How's it going, Sam? Pretty good. Just made it back from the nation's traffic. Look, Washington, D.C. and the Maryland area has some of the worst traffic, but it's also got some of the most opportunities. Great areas, but it's true, there's a lot of traffic there. But brother, look, you've been around the block. You know how to navigate around it. Just keep doing you, brother, and thank you again for your kindness, man. Tennessee, tennis unlocked. You're the man, Sam. Well, thank you for the positive comment. Keep rocking out. Thank you, brother. Tony, here's a good comment. You can't force anything. Let's read this again, guys. You can't force anything. Can't force someone to dance or laugh. Good job. Or even like you. Totally agree. But you can earn respect. Well, damn it. Tony, good comment, brother. Great comment, man. 100 emoji to you. Guys, learn to dance in the rain, but never force someone else to dance. That's so true. When you dance, you set an example, and someone may not dance for 10 years straight, but they'll think about the time that you were willing to dance, and even if you never see them dance, you set an example for them. And you showed them that it's okay to just do you and embarrass yourself. Good job. Tony, cup of coffee, damn it, brother. I appreciate that tip and that love, man. Thank you. SI Project Philly in the house here. Recognize, brother. I got love for you, man. Forgive me for saying it. Luciano, what's up, man? No kids, no wife, less stress life. I agree with that. Me and you on the same page. But shout out to all my people who do better in a relationship. I have met people, and I think there's a lot of people too, that do better in a relationship. I'm not mad at you, because I've been in relationships. Guys, I wouldn't be as well-rounded if I didn't experience relationships. Like, I had a psychopath in here the other day. He was men going their own way. He was that take, men going, but he was living with his mom. Guys, you're not men going your own way if you're still living with your mom. So, you're a man living with his mom. So, look, you gotta be an adult too, okay? And there was another psychopath in here. He had a tag name called Return of the Mac. And he was like, I'm not gonna move out of my mom's house till I'm 100% ready. I said, I'm fine with that, but your tag name shouldn't be Return of the Mac. It should be Return to Mommy's house. So guys, look, you gotta be honest with yourself too. There's a time in your life you gotta get out of mommy's house, okay? So I know some people don't like to hear that, but you gotta get pushed a little bit, all right? I love you. Tony, Sam, they got any good parks in New Jersey? Yeah, we broke that down. Not as many as Florida, and they're only seasonal. They close up in October. So, it's give and take. BVT, shout out to South Carolina. I saw a nomad chick today who gave up the nomad life, but I would never date her. She's hot, but she's a high maintenance, always in the hospital girl. No disrespect to her. Guys, if you're dating a girl, especially if she's young and she's always in the hospital and she's always got issues and she's always taking sick days at work, guys, she's like a car that's always going to have problems. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. It doesn't mean that you're better than her, but you have to ask yourself, do you want to have that for the rest of your life? Because the guy I knew who was pro-life that dated who married a person, they adopted, they fostered kids, and then they got divorced, and then she got alimony for the rest of his life, and he wished that she would die so he could finally have financial freedom, and I understand that. I remember him telling me he was a great man, a God-fearing man. I love him. Look, he's human, okay? And I understand life. I love him. He used to always tell me, he goes, Sam, I don't know if she was molested when she was young. She always had psychological issues, and she was always getting sick. And as she got older, it got worse and worse, and I was always taking care of her. Guys, I'm not saying you shouldn't be with that person, but if they're hot now, but if they're always taking sick days, if they're always got issues, guys, it's only going to get worse. And girls too. I'm not saying you shouldn't date them, but I'm saying, look, you have to be honest. Is that the life you want? I don't want that life, guys. Even if someone's totally in shape. Me personally, this is just me personally, I don't want to be responsible for someone else's emotions. And I don't want to have a good day, come home, and they have a bad day. And I don't want to have a bad day, they're having a good day, and they ask me how my day was. I want my space. I'm thankful for relationships. I respect men. I respect women. I respect gay, straight, lesbian. I don't care. I respect all people. But I also respect myself. I know what I want, what I need, and what I don't want. And you have to figure that out for your own life because we're all different. All right, good job. BBT, shout out to South Carolina. I'm sorry, I got in a whole spiel, brother. I love you, man. Hey, Sam, hello to you all. Well, BBT taught us a great life lesson. That one is, he's a good man. He has opposite viewpoints on a lot of things I talk about, and you guys know me. I could be very boisterous. But he's shown a lot of love and patience. I give him a lot of credit. And he's always positive. I know he disagrees with me a lot of stuff, but he never forces it because he knows, I'm a certain way. So he accepts me, I accept him, and we're able to vibe. And guys, I got love for BVT, man. He's a good guy. Shout out to South Carolina, Tony. There's a few in Maryland that stay open all year round, okay. But they are pricey, yep. Guys, you pay for the 1,000 Trails pass if you stay for more than 1 month. Because staying in an RV park for a month, for most people, that's more than $800. That's true. But my drummer's parents own property. So if I want, I can stay up there. Well, hey, I ain't mad at that. And sometimes that's wisdom, but never forget, if you stay at someone's house, if you stay on someone's property, it's almost like you always owe them. Like, let's say you stay at their property and they need help with something. You got to help them because they're helping you. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's always a little bit like favor for a favor. So just be mindful. Kristen, good evening, Sam. Your smile brings me joy. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Tony, Nick, where you at? I have friends in Yakima. Shout out to the nation. I'm not mad at that. Dennis, I knew you'd look and be much more relaxed with Thousand Trails. Well, thank you. No parking anxieties. Guys, that's a big relief. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not 100% solved because I can only stay for up to 14 days and then I got to get out of the system for 7. So, and I still don't have an RV. I still don't have heating and cooling. So, but I want to take gradual steps. Because again, if you're going to make a big commitment to an RV, you want to be slow and cautious. And you don't want to make a big commitment to an RV membership until you've experienced a little bit. Right now, I'm in the trial period where I've committed to the lowest package for 1 year, no commitment. And I'm experiencing the campgrounds and the culture to see if it's something I want to add to my tools of resources to build a sustainable life. Like I was on the phone with Thousand Trails today talking about their different upgrade options. And I was talking to the lady and she was asking me about my journey. I said, look, I've been on the road full time for 2.5 years. I said, what I'm trying to do now is alleviate some of the constant moving so that I could build a sustainable lifestyle because I'm young enough, I could work remote. So I like this lifestyle. I like non-commitment. I like no maintenance. You get full utility hookups, you get bathroom, you get laundry facilities, you get some places have hot tubs, pools, gated community. You get all that and you don't have to take care of any of it. There's no HOA, there's no nothing. And if you don't like it, you don't have to renew your pass next year. I like that. But look, there's downsides. There's not always availability. Sometimes the campgrounds aren't in the areas you want to be. And sometimes, they're not the best. So, nothing's perfect, but right now it's a plus. Now let's continue to read Dennis's comment. He goes, you look much more relaxed. No parking anxieties. That's true. When you choose to have options, I agree with that. Glad it's working out. Thumbs up. Well, damn it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. I also appreciate everyone who takes the effort to click that thumbs up button on the video and share it. I appreciate that. SpongeBob. That's right. Well, thank you. Jerry with Jordan's laughing. Hold on one sec, Jordan. Hold on, Journey. Journey with Jordan. Good to see you, brothers laughing. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Tennessee. Tony, I joined the Trains and Planes and Automobiles Club. Well, I ain't mad at that. Hey, guys, a lot of times people have asked me, like, Sam, you live in a car. Where do you bring a girl? Where do you have sex? Now, look, I told you guys, after a while of knowing you, I don't date anymore. I just masturbate. But if I did date, guys, where would I have sex? Backseat of my Jeep. Let's swing an episode. LL Cool J had a whole song about it. There's some people, especially all you older women out there, senior citizens, like they used to tell people, like they used to tell their children, you were conceived in the back of a car at a driving movie theater. A lot of older women had sex in drive-in movie theaters in a car in the doo-wop era. So guys, look, you can have sex in the backseat of your car. So what I can tell you is you can have sex anywhere. So look, it's not a big deal. Tony? Oh yeah, I read that. Tony, Sam. Just so you know, Amtrak has a service that will ship your car across the country. It's not bad either. Well, that's good to know. But I like to be in control. But it's good to know in an emergency. But I like to drive. I don't like to fly. I've flown a couple times. I didn't like it. I took a train one time from New Jersey to Florida. I hated it. I flew back to Jersey. I couldn't do that again. So, but thank you, brother. That's good to know. AJ, shout out to Miami. And everyone out there living in a Toyota Prius, brother, good to see you, man. Life is all about having balance. So true. To all my investors out there, stock traders and everything like that, look, trading stocks, especially day trading, is very risky, but I'm not against it. And I've done it, so I'm not against it at all. All I'm telling you is, look, it's a heavy risk, though. So only gamble with a certain portion. Keep a year's worth of savings in a savings account and try to have some other form of income. And then if you want to have a certain amount in a brokerage account where you day trade and you gamble, that's fine. But you'll have a better peace of mind if you know you have a certain amount in the savings account and you have some other source of income. So again, then you can trade with less anxiety. Now you probably, look, I've lost more money trading than anything else, but I still enjoy it. So what I could tell you though, especially when I first started, guys, all my money was like in a brokerage account and I had no money in savings and I wasn't balanced right. So if you're going to take a risk with certain money, especially something very risky like trading or have it a small percentage of your money. Have a certain percentage in savings, a year's worth of expenses, and have another source of income. Then it's just like, you could treat day trading a little bit like YouTube. Look, if you make money, great. If you don't, you're not going to be destitute, okay? I think you live a better quality life, at least definitely until you can build up a sustainable income, if you can do. Look, only 10% of traders make anything to speak of. 90% lose money. Just like businesses, most businesses fail. But when you have a business, when you have a YouTuber, you're more or less providing a service to society. When you're doing a day trader, I mean, it's part of society, but you're just trying to skim off the top. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just buying on wholesale, trying to make a profit. All I'm saying is balance your portfolio so that if you fail, it's not life-shattering and you can still keep a level of mental health and financial health. Love to you. And he goes, life is all about balance. When something is out of balance, it leads to unhappiness. I've been there. And disrupts your consciousness, mental health. AJ, I love you, brother. Me and you are very similar. You keep those Colombian girls on standby because I'm coming back to Miami. I don't want you and Milano and Emilio banging all the girls thinking like you're going to take my spot. I want you guys to have a lot of girls too, but don't take all my girls. All right, love and respect. May West, shout out to Brooklyn. Good evening, Sam. May West, good to see you. Keep doing you. I got love for you. You're a positive woman. I respect you and I love you. BBT, Sam, I can tell a joke. Go ahead, brother. Might not be suitable for a younger audience. Well, hey, I already told them we masturbate in the sock. Better they know young. Heard it today, and it's kind of funny. Well, go for it. Kristen, I gave my letter of resignation today. That also brings me joy. Well, I love you, Kristen, and I respect the decision for your life. I hope you either have another job lined up. I hope you're or old enough to receive Social Security, or you have another source of income. If not, it's your life and I respect your decision. But you're going to be real sad if you go for a period of time without having any income. Because even if you have no fixed bills, you always have expenses. You always have car insurance, you always have gas, you always have food, you always have health insurance. So I respect your decision, but you always need money. So best of luck to you, and I hope everything works out good. Dale, hey, a lot of wisdom. Shout out to that. You got the Asian balance sign, man. Love to you, brother. Tony, Sam, I'm thinking of building a studio. Gotta talk to a band. Maybe they can split the cost. Just be careful, because anytime you go into business with someone, it's like being married. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you guys know me. I'm a single person. I'm a loner. And that's why I like the mobile lifestyle, because I can live alone. And that's why I like YouTube. I don't have to. When I was an electrical contractor, I was married to my customers. Like, I couldn't hang a ceiling fan or change an electrical service. And, I'm committed to that person for a year. I got to back up my, warranties, or if something goes wrong, I have to honor it. And so YouTube, it's a virtual relationship. It's non-committal. I don't have to go live. I don't have to make a video. Now, I don't get paid if I don't produce content. And if I don't produce good enough content, people won't watch. So there's some demand you put on yourself. There's some commitment. But I do it supplementary. I keep my full-time job and I do a couple things on the side with investments. And that's why, I'm telling Kristen, make sure you have a main hustle. Because there's certain things in life you can do. Like, this is fun for me. I love to do it. It's my gift. But it doesn't pay the main bills. It's a supplemental source. I would love to be a millionaire day trading, but I don't have reliable income. I lost more money than I made. So I'm not against keep doing those things, but I'm just saying that for me, I can only share my life experience so far. Without my main job, I would be destitute. And I wouldn't be bouncing from Florida to New Jersey. Again, I know a lot of people living in vehicles and RVs in Florida. You know why they didn't leave during the hurricane? They don't have the money. There's a lot of times people come in here like the trolls. They say, you're homeless or this and that. Look, there ain't no homeless people that are destitute traveling up and down the East Coast, using that amount of gas, spending money in Starbucks and doing all the different things I do. Look, that costs thousands of dollars to travel up and down, do all that. There's no one doing that. If you're really destitute, you're staying stuck in one area and, you're shopping at the Dollar Tree and it's game over. And what I can tell you is that's not a fulfilled life for me. I'm not saying money is everything, but you want the independence to be able to move freely. Okay, at least I do. So that's why I sacrifice. I work, a couple jobs, couple different side hustles. Why? Because I want maximum independence. That's just who I am. Love to you. Thank you guys. These are good comments. Roz, shout out to South Florida. Good to see you, Roz. Love to you. Journey with Jordan, retracted Tony. We split the cost on the Chevy City Express, so it's manageable. Well, if you already got a good partnership and it's working out, thumbs up to you, brother. You know your life. You're a smart guy. You've been around the block. Journey. Animal Insight giveaway at 10K subs. Guys, I project we'll hit 10K subs by March of 2020. Hopefully it'll be sooner than that, but that's probably what it'll be. Will I do a giveaway of if we hit 10K subs by the end of October? I will ship an N1 sock signed by me that I may or may not have masturbated in, if anyone's interested. Now, back in the day, I used to ask a couple girls I was dating to give me a couple pair of panties that they wore, because I used to like to sniff the panties. Now, some people think that's nasty, but guys, that's part of life. That's true. Tony, I don't want stock. Well, you just missed out. It's too much of a headache. Oh, stocks. Oh, yeah. Maybe, I thought you said sock. Maybe if I could pick the stock instrument, Marcus, way to go. Now, look, if you don't have that stock thing in you, don't do it, because most people lose money. I've lost more money. So just do what you do best, which is play the saxophone and be a positive person, brother. Love to you, man. BBT. Kristen, good luck in your new job. I agree with that. Tony, oh, you're starting a new job, Kristen? Well, good luck. The best time to get a job is when you have a job. So if you resigned and if you're getting ready to start a new job, good job. Tony, hey, we live in a capitalist society. It's true. Capitalist is still better than socialist, but we need some socialism. Social security is socialism. I play the people and they give me money. What a world. Hey guys, look, yeah. You provide a service to society and then you get a financial reward. Now, again, I think you need some things that balance society. If it wasn't for the electrical union, I wouldn't have built my career as good. If there wasn't for Social Security, 40% of retirees would have no primary source of income. They would be doing DoorDash at 70. So you need some social programs, but you also need a system that incentivizes people to go out there and give some type of service. Tony, Sam, you know what's crazy? My biggest bills are dry cleaning. My biggest bill is food, but okay. Dry cleaning is a big bill. And reads for the sacks, then gas. Okay. Those are all business deductions too. But we have cards, so it's not that bad. And the tax deductible, damn it, Tony. Way to be a good capitalist, brother. You deduct that tax. Good job. Journey with Jordan. Reads are expensive. Can't be playing professionally on pack of Ricos. Look, guys, Journey with Jordan got you guys all fooled. Journey with Jordan living in dead broke Tennessee. But basically what he did was he cashed out of Naples. And then he took all his money and he tried to live off his investments in Tennessee. Guys, Journey with Jordan, like all the words that he uses and everything he knows in life, he's a very well-rounded guy. This guy is loaded, man. You guy got you all fooled, man. Shout out to Dead Broke Tennessee. Jerry Jordan's laughing. Good job. BVT, he missed my joke. Well, damn it, BVT, I missed it. What was it? Kristen, good luck in a new job? Well, she don't have a job? Was that the joke? I missed the damn joke. Damn it, BVT. I love you, man. I'm sorry. It's getting too late to go back. I love you, man. Ramondo, what's up, my guy? What's up to you? Love and respect. BVT, skipped it. BVT, did it get blocked? Maybe it got blocked, brother. Maybe it was, let me see. I love you, BVT. I'll go back for you, brother. No one puts BVT in a corner. He says, Sam, can I tell a joke? Okay. Oh, here it is. You got blocked because you said the word penis. Thank you for letting me know. Guys, if you don't see a comment, let me know because sometimes I got to approve it. All right, BVT says, a penis went to a psychiatrist and asked, "Why am I so depressed?" The psychiatrist said to the penis, "Well, isn't it obvious? Your next door neighbors are two nuts and an asshole." Well, damn it, BVT. Shout out to all the nasty jokes. And what I could tell you is if that didn't make you laugh, guys, you damn sure ain't masturbating in a sock enough, because BVT used the word penis, balls, and asshole. Now, it got me demonetized, but damn it, it was worth it if it made you laugh. So, guys, take a screenshot of BVT's joke and keep laughing. Good job, brother. I love you, BVT. Thank you for making me read that. Where was that? Dennis, no, he answered the question. Oh, Jerry Jordan said, yeah, at BVT. It probably got blocked. Yeah, it went in audio. Yeah, because he used the word penis. But I love him. We read it. BVT, I see. Who knew? We got you, brother. Jeremy Jordan. Hi, Sam. You're hilarious. Thank you. But Tennessee is a disaster. You're right. Well, that's true. But we love to everyone in Tennessee. African Amazing laughing. Good job. All right, guys. I think we got to all the live comments. And we love BVT and his humor. Nah, BVT, you didn't cost me money, brother. Because let me tell you something. I got free will. If I didn't want to read it, I wouldn't read it. And if it wasn't for you, because look, guys, I choose to make videos, but also you have to have people who watch it. Okay, and BVT, you've been a steady watcher, even though I know you disagree with me on some stuff. So I have to acknowledge the people who do support me. And just by watching, you support me. So, you know, that's why I try to read every comment, because I try to show that mutual respect. So, brother, you didn't cost me money, brother. You're a blessing to me, and I appreciate you. I appreciate Tony. Thank you for the supplemental. And, all right, guys, look, we talked about life today. We covered a variety of things, and that's what life is. It's a variety of things. No one answer to everything. Everyone has their own life, their own way to live life. So just remember, when I share what I share, this is me and my perspective at this season of my life. You may or may not agree, and you may be at a different season of your life. It's all relative, okay? So what I could tell you is love, respect, and go in peace, and be happy, and live a balanced life as best you can. Peace and love.